from a national perspective, it's a very fresh matchup. You got programs that traditionally have been a little bit in the shadows, even though Oak State's won 10 games, quite frequently lately. I think that you could make a case that both Baylor and Oklahoma State have traditionally in their conferences been overshadowed a bit, and now they're right in the bright spotlight on prime time, battling for the conference supremacy, and also the fact that Baylor is still very much in the BCS title game hunt, and how they handle the big target, how they handle the pressure. It's a real test of mental maturity. It's the biggest test Baylor's undergone this season by far because of the quality of the opponent and the atmosphere, perhaps the weather. So what they've done so far is impressive. None of us are expecting another 60-point performance. I think it's going to be by far Baylor's biggest test, and their schedule's backloaded, and it's a chance to learn more about them. And obviously, we kind of expected Oklahoma State to be a pretty good team from the beginning. But I simply pointed out from a national perspective the importance of facilities and how crucial that was to attracting recruits, and I think the image of the program in general. And clearly, a lot of folks, one main guy, has stepped up here, and the facilities are tremendous. And to see the growth of the program and the way that's manifested in not just the football facilities, but all the sports facilities is impressive here. I mean, I think that Oklahoma State doesn't take a back seat at all. So it's been great progress.
Well, I mean, I think Oklahoma State they started slow this year, especially offensively. But I think if you watched them, I think you started to see that once Desmond came in the lineup, I think you started to see that the running game started to click a little bit. And I think you've definitely seen it in the last 4 games. And yeah, everybody picked Texas last week, I think, to win. But I think I also like their defense too. I don't think there's an individual Gilbert. I mean, I don't think there's an individual guy outside of Gilbert probably that you point to and you say, wow, he's the superstar. But I think they play really well together. And they play disciplined, they tackle well. So it's been pretty impressive to watch. I think it's been difficult for them because we're so used to seeing those big offenses that score a bunch of points and make it look really easy. And I think it's more difficult this year, and it has to be more methodical and kind of dink and dunk than they were used to in the past. But it's still been effective, and it's been clicking the last 4 games for sure. Well, I think Baylor's dealing with a lot of injuries. Can they keep it up? I mean, now they lose their left tackle. They got banged up at the linebacker spot. You've seen receiver spot. You've seen both running backs go out, third-team running back. And this offensive pace that they're on, can anybody keep that up? I mean, nobody's done it in the history of college football like this, and especially if the weather's like it is today. Tomorrow, can they have the same success offensively would be the question. I think both teams I think Baylor probably passes more. So it might affect the passing game a little bit more than Oklahoma State.
Bryce Petty laughed it off. I talked to him this week, and he said, we practice in cold weather. But I think that anybody that's ever tried to throw or catch a ball in the cold knows that it's challenging. Special teams become challenging. I saw that the wind wasn't supposed to be howling too badly. If it's only 11 miles per hour, you folks would consider that a calm night. But if it picks up and becomes a factor for special teams, that could be dangerous too. Special teams have been a strong suit for Oklahoma State, and I think that could again be a crucial area. But
I thought coming into the season, I thought Baylor had a good shot in the Big 12, and I thought Oklahoma State was up there, but I think everybody else thought Texas was up there as well. So I think it's a surprise that it's like the game of the week. Everybody's going to be pointing to it, and also a game that has national championship implications. Imagine if Oklahoma State doesn't lose to West Virginia. This game's even bigger, and they should have beat West Virginia, obviously. We want to see this game. I mean, I think the weather will be even more interesting to watch, and it's big implications. It's a big game.